Well, it's Friday, yeah, and you're with Bob on Cosburn Avenue here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, East York, talking about the movies he watched this week. This morning, it was a real nice blue sky out there. Now it's dark. See, it's dark out there. Anyway, let's talk about the movies. It's getting an itchy nose all the time. I don't know why. And this video is not going to be as long as it was last week. Hairy nose, beard. All right, let's talk about the movies. I watched a movie on TCM. It's called Witness to Murder from 1954. Cheryl Draper, girl in an apartment, of course. She alerts the authorities when she sees her neighbor murder a young woman from her bedroom window. She's looking out her bedroom window. You know, it's nighttime. She's getting ready to go to bed and stuff. She looks across the way, and she sees this guy choking the shit out of this girl. Yeah, she's standing there going. So anyway, she alerts the authorities, and they come and they knock on his door, and everything's fine and dandy and stuff. So he kind of tells the cops, right, that she may be a little nutty, right? So yeah, so all through this movie, nobody believes this girl. And this girl is, Cheryl Draper is Barbara Stanwyck, yes. And this movie was opened at the show a few months before Rear Window by Alfred Hitchcock. Similarities, but no, not that many, but yeah. So it stars Gary Merrill and George Sanders as the dapper man that, supposedly kills this girl. So all through the movie, this George Sanders guy's right. He's after Barbara Stanwyck. You know, he tells everybody she's crazy. Mostly everybody believes him, right? So it's a very interesting movie. I gave it a 7. It's a good watch. If you want to watch it, you find it somewhere. Barbara Stanwyck. It's a movie that doesn't show up very often with Barbara Stanwyck movie. But this was a very good movie. I gave it a 7. Yeah. Film noir, black and white, of course. All right, what else have I watched? I watched Tomorrowland. George Clooney, 2015. This young girl finds, a button, a coin or something. She picks it up and she goes off to this other land, in the future, I guess. So these other people start looking for her to find this button, coin or something. So George Clooney is an older gentleman, but a lot of this movie takes place when he was a boy, and he meets this girl, supposedly girl. And I thought it was very interesting. It's about the future and things that are going to happen, and and she's in the past where she is. But it's a very well done movie. I give it a 7. I can watch this again in another year or two, but yeah, I've had it for a while. One of those movies you had for a while and you never get around to watch it, but finally, one day you pull it out of the pile. I got lots of movies like that. Movies that I have for years and I've never watched them. But sooner or later, I'll get around to watching them. All right, so that was Tomorrowland. George Clooney gets a 7. Right? Now, there's another good movie. I think it's called Lila and Eve, 2015. Stars Jennifer Lopez and Viola Davis. Viola Davis's sons walk along the street, right? Guy's heading home, you know, it's the end of the night, he's going home and stuff. And he's walking by this store, and half-assed grocery store. Shots ring out, right? He gets shot, he's laying on the ground, he's dead, right? He's dead. So the cops, you know, they try and find out who did it, but the cops are, you know, the cops. And so Viola Davis meets up with this other lady that's in a support group, right? And, you know, for mothers whose sons get shot, you know. So she meets up with Jennifer Lopez. So they get together and they start going asking questions and stuff and trying to find out who killed her son, Viola Davis's son. So yeah, a strange way of putting it, but this movie kind of reminded me of Fight Club a little bit. So, but you have to watch the movie to find out, you know, kind of what I'm talking about. But yeah, they're good. So they go around and asking these drug dealers, you know, anything, and find out who the mob boss is or who somebody who shot the kid, or, you know, who's in charge and all that stuff. So you get these two ladies with a gun and they go around shooting people. Yeah, it's very good. I gave it an 8. It was a very good movie. I totally enjoyed it. Another movie I've seen or watched, whatever the correct way of putting it is. I watched this before a few years ago, but I watched it again. So you can watch it again like I do. I watch movies all the time again. And some movies I only watch once, and no, you don't need to watch that. But anyway, this one you can watch again. I can watch this movie again, you know, next year or whatever. Excuse me. And I watched this movie, Whiteout, 2009. What's her name? Kate Beckinsale? Yeah, she's up north in the North Pole, you know, place, you know, where it's cold. She's what do you call it, a sheriff? Some kind of a cop or something, right? Supposed to be, you know, in charge, or, you know, keeps an eye on everybody up there, right? So she's a sheriff. So to get word that, you know, there's something out there in the snow, you know, some bodies, a body, put it that way, bodies out there in the snow. So they go and they find this body. He's a dead guy. You know, he's frozen, of course. They turn him over. His whole side of the body's all flat and all pancaked. So they're talking to each other and they're saying, I think he seems like he jumped out of an airplane, or maybe somebody threw him out or something, right? So yeah, so there's something going on here, right? There's like somebody in this compound, winter compound thing, right? That somebody's in there that killed somebody, and they're trying to find out now. The sheriff, or what do they call those people? Not a sheriff. I don't know the right word now. I forget. But anyway, she's trying to find out what happened to this guy, right? So somebody else gets killed. Now it's like there's somebody in this friggin' project here. You know, there's a bad guy here. So she's trying to find out who this guy is. So it's a very interesting movie. It's like, you know, who done it, right? You know, so it's Whiteout, yeah, 2009. I gave it an 8. I really liked it. I can watch this movie again next week. Not next week. You know, another year from now or whatever. But yeah, Whiteout, an 8. That's a good movie. Oh, and then I watched this one, Jurassic World. Yeah, Jurassic World. What is it, 2016? Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, right? Ronnie's little girl. But, yeah, they make you know, everybody knows the story. They make this dinosaur, right? He's in this containment thing, right? This dinosaur's freaking smart, right? So anyway, he gets out. He goes around killing all the other dinosaurs. Not to eat them. He just wants to kill them, right? So, you know, so the two little boys that visit their aunt, which is Dallas Bryce Howard, they're out riding around, and then everybody gets called back in. But they're still running around, right, in this little ball thing that moves around. And then Bryce Howard and Chris Pratt's character goes out hunting for them. Of course, they come across dinosaurs and everything else. So that's a fun movie. I can watch this one again next year, no problem. I watch all the Jurassic Park movies and all that stuff. I watch them again, especially like the sound effects, dinosaurs when they're thumping around, right? Boom, boom, boom. I love that shit. Yes, I gave it an 8, so you can watch that one. If you haven't seen it, most people have. All right, what else did I watch? I watched, well, that's Jurassic World, right? So I watched that, but what else did I watch? I watched Star Wars. I think this is what, 2020? The Rise of Skywalker, presumably the last movie in the series. It's number 9. Yeah. Well, everybody knows this movie too. It was all right. I found it enjoyable. I liked it. Said goodbye to Carrie Fisher. Of course, she passed away. Had a heart attack, I think it was. But yeah, can't really tell you too much about what this movie's about because it's another one of those movies where we kind of talk about and tell you what it's all. They'll spoil it for you. So, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. I gave it a 7. Kind of reminded me some of those old movies, like the older ones from the, I think, 50s. Yeah, with the story behind it, right? Kind of like, yeah, we're on our own, You think anybody's going to come to help? And no, I don't think anybody's going to help us. So we're pretty well on our own. But, well, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Star Wars 2020, The Rise of Skywalker, 7 out of 10. All right, now I watched the movie, this one here. Yeah, well, that's Star Wars, right? I paid $10 for that back in December. Yeah, $10. I can afford $10 for a Blu-ray. No, I think that's up to $25 again. So I'm not paying $25. $10, I'm in. All right, I watched Tree of Life. This one here, Tree of Life. Tree of Life. Year 2011. Brad Pitt's in it. What's her name? Jessica Chastain or whatever her name is. This story is about a father, 3 sons, and the mother, right? And they're in a house. Takes place in the 50s, sometime in the 50s. The father's a little bit, what's that word? Domineering kind of thing. All the kids are scared of their dad and stuff like that, right? But it's a very strange movie. I wasn't too crazy over it. I don't know if I'll ever watch that one again. I don't think so. So I gave it a 4 out of 10. I wasn't crazy over it. Yeah. So I don't know if any has seen that movie, Tree of Life, but I'm not, I don't recommend The Tree of Life, so if you want to watch it or find it, go ahead. But yeah, I give it a 4 out of 10. Now this one, one of the ones I got for Christmas, right? The Artist. I think this was $10 too, not $25, but $10. Now this is an excellent movie. This is a silent movie. This is the best picture from 2011. This takes place around 1927, when the movies were out and they were silent, of course, right? He's a big star, right? He's a top box office guy, right? 1927. So a little while later, of course, there's sound, right? Sound starts coming into it. And he meets this young girl, right? And this young girl starts, has a big part in the movie, and then she gets bigger and stuff, and she's a big star, and he's kind of like nobody wants him anymore. Like he's had his time in, the sun, and he's kind of like a has-been now, right? So kind of reminds me of another movie with, what is it, the movie, Judy Garland's in it, The Star is Born. Similarities are abound in this movie of that, but This is a 2-hour movie, maybe a little bit longer, but it's silent. Yeah, there's music in it, right? And, you know, of course, the captions at the bottom. So, you know, you gotta do two things at once. You gotta read the captions and you gotta watch the movie. Some people can't do that, I've heard, but I kind of focus on the picture and I read the words in my brain. It's kind of hard to explain, but I see them and I look at them, or, you know, I absorb the words in my brain. So I watched it. I really think this movie's a really good movie, and if you haven't seen this one, I highly recommend it. The Artist. Yeah, I gave it a 9. This is an excellent movie. A 9, a big 9. Yes, a big 9 out of 10. Best Picture, 2011. Even though it's silent, it keeps you, what's that word? Occupied, watching the screen. Excellent movie. All right, people. See, kind of short video. Not as long as last week. Of course, I watched the hockey game, you know, a few hockey games this week, right? And I cut in on movie time. The Leafs are back playing. I'm a Leaf fan, everybody knows that. So, yeah. But more movies, you know, to watch this week. Another video next Friday, of course. And a shout out to my friend In over there in Wales. A shout out to Michael, you know, I think he's in Ohio. Harry, my man, Jay, right? And James, the grumpy old gentleman. I'm saying a shout out to them. Not that any of them, well, some of them do watch my videos, of course. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying, if you watch this video, you guys, I'm just saying hello. And I hope everybody's fine. And I hope everybody's safe. And I hope everybody's safe, for that matter. Anybody that watches my videos or chats, talks to me, any of that kind of stuff. I do hope you're safe and your family's safe from this COVID thing going around, right? So, yeah. I'm going to show you something, too. I might do this, but anybody remember this? Box of cereal? Superman, Batman? I think it's 2016. Yeah. The other side's French, because we're in Canada. But yeah, a box of cereal. Of course, there's nothing in it, right? If I remember correctly, I don't think the cereal tasted very good. They look like miniature-sized bats. So if you like that, seeing a box of cereal, I'll show you another one next week. If you want to see one, I'll show another one. And if you like it, I'll show you another one. From now on, I'll show you a box of cereal from the past. Well, not that long ago, but, you know, if you like it. So that's it. I got all kinds of stuff here, my place. I don't know, all kinds of stuff. People say I got a lot of stuff. Just imagine. Years ago, I had a lot more than I have now. Yeah. This is an apartment, a one-bedroom apartment. You can't keep a whole bunch of stuff in here. Even though I got comic books hanging on the walls, right back there and up there, and pictures. An apartment full of everything. Comic books, pictures, posters, and all kinds of stuff. So I try to keep the video short. It's not as long as it was last week. So there you go, people. Keep watching those movies and stay safe, and go Leafs go. Later.